How's it going, everybody? This is Dave from Talking Wolves, and yes, Premier League football is finally back. Wolves are going to be restarting their Premier League campaign up against West Ham United at the London Stadium this Saturday evening. And guys, I am really looking forward to it. I've really missed doing this match day stuff, missed doing the match day previews, and we are back. And hopefully we can see Wolves mount a possible European push yet again. Who would have thought it? Just 3 years ago, still sat in the Championship. We've had our first, European campaign this season. It's been fantastic, such a great journey, and of course we'll be talking maybe a bit about that in today's preview. And who knows, we may well have it again come next season. But guys, as always, I love seeing your thoughts. So if you react to anything that I say in today's preview or want to give your thoughts, let me know in the comment section down below, and be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Plenty of Wolves matchday content coming up over the next number of weeks or so. Of course, you can check out our brand new website as well at talkingwolves.co.uk. And if you guys want to be involved a little bit more with the channel, we're looking for fans to give their thoughts after the games, both with video content and written content. So if you're interested in that, you can message us on Twitter. It's probably the best way to do it, at Talking Wolves. So yeah, football is back, and Wolves are back against West Ham United away on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to this one. I think, Wolves have had such a good campaign. We're currently sat in 7th place now, obviously with Sheffield United drawing their first game. Quite controversial, but we won't really talk about that. And Wolves have got a really, on paper, favourable first few fixtures. We play up against West Ham United, Bournemouth, and of course Aston Villa as well. And I think plenty of people are probably backing Wolves to get a full house of points there. It's quite difficult to bring form and so on into it, because for every team in the Premier League, it's starting fresh, really. I know Wolves had a couple of warm-up matches, friendly matches, nothing official really. Obviously, coaches were refereeing the games and players were wearing training kits and stuff like that. Of course, Wolves lost 2-0 to Nottingham Forest at home. I saw the goals from that game. I believe one of them was a penalty and one of them was a pretty long-range attempt. And then we drew 1-1 to Birmingham. I believe Morgan Gibbs-White scored in that game. And the goal Wolves conceded was a little bit ropey defensively. But I know Wolves wouldn't have really got out of first gear for those games. You don't really want to be risking injuries to your best players a week before the season kicks off again. But our opponents for this week, West Ham, are in such a strange position right now. Of course, they're under fairly new management in David Moyes, and they're currently sat in 16th place on 27 points. Not a great goal difference on -15, and of course they are level on points at the moment with Bournemouth, who are sat in the relegation zone. So for them, they're going to be fighting for every point to ensure their Premier League survival. And I think for a club like West Ham, with the facilities they've currently got and the wage bill and players, I think it's going to be disastrous for a club like them to be relegated to the Championship. I think you could see some serious problems with West Ham United if they do go down this season. I think if you look at Wolves' record though, ever since we've been promoted back into the Premier League, we've played West Ham 3 times. We've beaten them every single time, and we've got a clean sheet every single time. We flash back to the start of last season at the London Stadium, where we're going to be playing on Saturday, and you guys will remember Adama Traore scoring that late goal. We've had 2 home games against them since, and to be honest, they've been probably the 2 most routine home victories that you would have seen at Molineux over the last 2 years as well. We've looked really good against West Ham United, and just sometimes it's as if they struggle to play against us and play against our style and our system. I remember the home game, I think it was earlier this season actually, one of their most influential players, I'd say, Felipe Anderson, was just completely not even marked out of the game. We just knew how to deal with him, and we punished their most influential players really, and made it quite easy, and a nice easy 3 points for Wolves. Before the break as well, Wolves are on some good form, of course. A little bit annoying that we dropped points against Brighton in our last Premier League game, but you guys all remember the win against Spurs in our last league away game as well. We're currently unbeaten in the last 5 Premier League games, winning 2 and drawing 3 of those, and we've kept a clean sheet in 4 of the last 5 as well. We're unbeaten in our last 9 matches in London in the Premier League as well, winning 4 and drawing 5. We're on good form, and everything sort of is aligning to have a really strong finish for Wolves. In my opinion, Nuno is a very sort of fitness-orientated manager, and at the start of the season, especially with us having Europe, a lot of the sessions, they'd have double sessions most days just to try and get that fitness up. And I think this break for Wolves could really give us a massive boost for the rest of the season. I believe Wolves were one of the first Premier League teams at least back in full training. I know a couple of clubs such as Watford, I know Chelsea had a couple of interruptions as well, with certain players sort of not wanting to go to training. I think Wolves were one of the first teams that sort of fully went back to training. I think that could have a big part as well on the remainder of the season for us. Can we, can our extra preparation give us that bit extra, push towards our goals for the rest of the season? And of course, after this 6 weeks, we're going to have another lot of games. The Europa League, we spoke about it in our last video. If you haven't gone to check that out, please do. It's on the channel. Of course, the Europa League is going to be played out throughout August. So we've got sort of 6 weeks of Premier League action. Then we'll potentially go to Germany to play in the Europa League as well. And that means the season is going to be like 13 months long for Wolves, which is ridiculous. Of course, that is why this break in the middle could be crucial for Wolves. That really could give us the chance to recharge our batteries, and hopefully it hasn't really killed momentum too much. Now, I've asked our friends at Irons United, a West Ham fan page, sort of similar to Talking Wolves, to give their thoughts on West Ham ahead of the game this week against Wolves.
Alright, my preview of West Ham United Wolves on Saturday, obviously absolutely buzzing that Premier League football has returned. For me, this is a really difficult one to predict. Considering the circumstances in which we find ourselves. I think form's gone out the window, confidence has gone out the window. Every single team is kind of on an even slate, and perhaps that gives us as good a chance as we would ever have of getting a result against Wolves. We are at home. Obviously, there won't be an atmosphere, which could potentially be on the downside for us. But at the same time, it's a neutral venue for both sides. We just got to go there and give our all and hopefully get a result. Obviously, Wolves this season have been a breath of fresh air again. Last season, they were exactly the same. We know what they bring to the table. High-intensity football, they keep the ball really well. And whatever they do, they just do with 110% intensity. So we're going to have to be up for it. Last season, in this fixture, Wolves won 1-0. Adama Traore scoring at the death. For me, he's a player that's going to be key again for them. And we're going to have to find a way to stop him. On our front, we have to look at the likes of Seb Haller, Mikel Antonio and Jared Bowen, who have been playing really well. Even in the warm-up games leading into this fixture, those are the front three players that I think we're going to have to look at to be the catalyst to fire us to hopefully a victory come Saturday. For us, the objective is simple, and that's to stay up. For Wolves, it's a very different objective. They're looking to play European football, a position that West Ham fans can only dream of right now. It's crazy to think that 2 or so seasons ago, West Ham and Wolves were pretty much on a level playing field, and now Wolves are everything West Ham hoped to be. So yeah, interesting fixture come Saturday. Obviously, I do believe that both teams have an equal chance of winning because of the situation we find ourselves in. I love Nuno as a manager. I think he's fantastic. I think Wolves have been really good this campaign. But I'm feeling quietly confident about the fixture. So I'm going to go with the 2-1 win to West Ham. Obviously, it's so difficult to predict, but we're going to have to be at our best, and hopefully we can get a win come Saturday, because the fixtures after that are really tough. And if we don't get a result on Saturday and we lose the next 2 or so games, we have some tough ones coming up. We could find ourselves very well towards the bottom of the league, 18-19, with a couple of games to go. So this is a huge game for West Ham.
Again, big thanks to Irons United for that. You can check them out. I'll leave their links for their social pages in the description down below. And now I'm going to be talking about the players, the situation, what has been going on with Wolves at the moment. It sounds like everyone should be fit and available for the game against West Ham. And still, there's probably people umming and ahhing about who our best team is, our best players are. But I think one of the best things about this could be the opportunities some of our younger players get. Of course, with the slight change in rules and regulations, Premier League clubs are allowed more substitutions and more substitutes to sit on the bench as well. With Wolves having such a small squad, I think we've only had 19 or 20 players play anyway in the Premier League. This is going to give a chance to some of the younger players, the big prospects as well, to possibly get a chance in the Premier League. Of course, we signed the likes of Leonardo Campana in January. We're yet to see him in the first team squad and play a first team game, so I'm sure we'll probably see him before the end of the season. And players that I'd like to see a lot as well is Christian Marquez, the young centre-back. He's really been impressing in the under-23s, and he's been training with the first team, so there's a high chance that he's going to be on the bench. Owen Otasawi as well. We saw him in the Europa League against Besiktas. Besiktas. I've seen him in a couple of under-23s games, and I think it'll be interesting to see if Nuno gives him a shot. But not just those guys, the likes of Daniel Podence as well. Of course, he came in January, but the form of Adama Traore, Diogo Jota, Pedro Neto sort of kept Podence from bursting into the first team, I think, as much as he would have wanted to. So the chances of him getting more first team football are extremely high. And of course, with the more substitutions, I think he's going to get a lot of chances to impress throughout the rest of the season. Now, Diogo Jota was on really, really hot form before the break as well, so I'm really hoping that he could take that momentum. Of course, during the lockdown period, he's been playing lots of FIFA. We saw him win the Premier League Invitational, which was great for Wolves fans during lockdown as well, and we're hoping he can take that form on his games console onto the pitch as well. I think this sort of game against West Ham is perfect for him, and Adama Traore, both so energetic on their day, and I think against a half-fit or a not really match-sharp West Ham United side, they could cause real issues from either wing. And that's where I'm going to go into my predicted lineup. I think, of course, Rui Patricio is going to start. And I think it's going to be a more or less straightforward lineup for Wolves. I think we're going to see Johnny again at left wing back. Of course, he had a slight injury issue, I think, before lockdown. He sounds like he should be okay now. I think we're going to see Bolly, Cody and Saiss at the back. Such an impressive back three since the turn of the year, really, especially when Willy Bolly came back. And Matt Doherty again at right wing back. In the middle two is going to be Ruben Neves and João Moutinho. And my front three are Diogo Jota, Raul Jimenez and Adama Traore. We're really hoping that we can see Raul continue firing and hopefully help us achieve our goals of a potential top 4 finish. But I'm sure fans are going to be extremely happy if we get top 6 this season. But guys, please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm really looking forward to the game. I'm really looking forward to seeing Wolves kick off their Premier League campaign again, and hopefully we can continue our good form. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who would you start in the game against West Ham on Saturday? Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Plenty of content coming up after the match as well. And until next time, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all very, very soon.